we're going to be reviewing for the test. The test will be next Tuesday, and you can sit whenever you answer correctly the question I ask you. So this is photosynthesis, which is the process by which green plants make food. So what is the process by which green plants make food?
Photosynthesis.
This chart will be on your test, and you will have letters on parts of the chart, and you have to tell me, you have to put the letter by the correct word, okay? So let's say that there's a letter right here, so whatever letter is right here, Hunter. Hunter.
Water.
Yes, so you would put that letter, whatever letter is right here, you would put that by the word water, okay? Then you're gonna have a letter up here, Elise.
Oxygen.
No. Riley? It actually says oxygen over here, showing arrows going out from the plant, because that's what a plant gives off. This is going from the air to the plant, so they're talking about what a plant needs. I'm not sure the camera can see the arrows. There we go. So there'll be a letter right here. Grayson, she doesn't seem to know it either, so.
Carbon dioxide.
Carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is what the plants need. In fact, actually, it's what we breathe out. Remember, animals and people breathe out carbon dioxide, and that helps the plants. And the plants are giving off oxygen. They've already said that, so you don't want to say oxygen. You guys see oxygen right there? So don't answer oxygen. Carbon dioxide is what plants need. All right, so the next one is going to be for Michael, and this arrow, there'll be a letter right here pointing right here to that leaf. So what are they talking about? What else is needed for photosynthesis?
I know what it is, but I can't think of the name.
You have to be able to think of the name. All right, I'm gonna have to go on. Chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is in the leaf. The green material in a leaf is called chlorophyll. So the things needed for photosynthesis are water, carbon dioxide, chlorophyll, and one more. Dane. There will be another letter right here. So what else is needed for photosynthesis?
Sunlight energy.
Yep, sunlight or sunlight energy. Either one would work, sunlight or sunlight energy. Very good. So that is the 4 things needed for photosynthesis. So they are sunlight energy, chlorophyll, water,
carbon dioxide.
All right, now to continue on, I'll start asking questions. All right. All living things depend on, oh, Brantley, I'm sorry. Well, I'm sorry, she answered already and I was looking at her. Go get this one. All flowering plants have this.
Seeds.
Seeds. That's a good one for you to get, because didn't you get it yesterday and you weren't sure?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Now you do
no, I
know.
guess that right down to
Oh, they got it wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, so all flowering plants have
Seeds.
All living things depend on
plants.
When a seed is resting, we say it is dormant. Very good. All right, Chase. A plant's what will grow downward to absorb the water and minerals from the soil? Root. Okay, 2 hints. First of all, they're growing downward. Second of all, they're in the soil. Only part of the plant in the soil is the
Root.
So, although I've had somebody get that one wrong before, God designed plant life to blank or make more of its kind. What's that word that means to make more of its kind? Elise?
Reproduce.
Reproduce. Reproduce. You might want to find your test 2 term notes and study them. Reproduce. So what is that word that means to make more of its kind?
Reproduce.
God designed plant life that way, but also He designed animals and people that way too. Animals reproduce, people reproduce, right? To make more of its kind. Ferns and mosses are green plants that begin as
Spores.
spores. Very good. What do ferns and mosses begin life as?
Spores.
The circles in a tree trunk that show a year's growth. Circles in a tree trunk that show a year's growth. spore print. I actually have a spore print. I just need to find where it is. Some of my things that I knew where they were in my other classroom when I was across the way, I have forgotten where I put them now that I moved over to this building last year. So I need to find it. I have a spore print. None of you did it, did you? Did anybody do the spore print? Did you find a mushroom in your yard and do a spore print? If you do, remember you take a white paper towel, lay it out, put the mushroom cap so that the gills are facing down, and put a bowl over it overnight. And in the morning you get up. I have one. I just need to see if I can find it so I can show it to you. All right. So what are the circles in a tree trunk that show a year's growth?
Annual rings.
Annual rings. Plant-like organisms which contain no chlorophyll. Where are we?
Fungi and bacteria.
Fungi and bacteria. Fungi and bacteria. What are plant-like organisms which contain no chlorophyll? Fungi and bacteria. What's the part of the plant that makes seeds?
Stem.
Nope.
Flower.
Flower. Seeds are made by the flower. What's part of the plant that makes seeds? Flower. Flower makes the seeds. What's the part of the plant that carries water and minerals upward and food downward?
Stem.
Yes, that is the stem. Stand up. What's the part of the plant that makes food?
Leaf.
A leaf. Part of the plant that makes food?
Leaf.
Green material in the plant. What's the green material in plants? On the chart, it's pointing to the leaf, which has green material in plants, chlorophyll. Remember we talked about how that once the days start getting shorter, then the veins close up and the chlorophyll in the leaf dies and breaks down, so that it reveals the true color of the leaf, which could be red or yellow or orange, right? A gas given off by people and animals that plants need. Carbon dioxide, again, from the chart. The plant that's given off, the gas that's given off by by animals and people. The gas given off by animals and people that plants need, carbon dioxide. Alright, yellow powdery dust formed by flowers. Stand up, please. Yellow powdery dust formed by flowers. Nice and loud.
Pollen.
Pollen. Yellow powdery dust formed by flowers.
Pollen.
The structure that holds and protects the seeds. Fruit. Very good. The fruit. What we had in here, we were cutting it open and looking at seeds. Food making process of green plants. Photosynthesis, just like from the chart. Food making process of green plants is photosynthesis. Protective skin of a tree trunk. Bark, yes. This energy helps plants make food.
Sunlight.
Yes, sunlight energy. Again, from the chart. This energy. Food making process, photosynthesis, sunlight energy. Pine trees have narrow leaves called gotta go on. Next. Needles. Think about what you don't like at the doctor's office. You don't like needles. Alright? Pine trees have narrow leaves called needles. Alright, and maybe this will help you to think of it too. Down in Florida, they have pine trees.
Yes.
Not the typical ones from here, but they have pine trees that have needles that are this long. They're usually in a cluster of 3. They're held together. There's 3 of them held together by this little thing, okay? So that's how pine trees grow down there. And they're very sharp on the end. And I've also told you they have fire ants down there. How many of you remember me telling you about fire ants? And when fire ants bite you, it really hurts, but then after a while it stops hurting, but it will form a little tiny pus bump wherever it bit you. You guys know what a little pus bump is?
Yeah.
When I was a little girl, we used to take the pine needles, which are very pokey on the end, and we would pop those little fire ant bumps whenever we got bit. Wherever we got them, on our feet, if we got bit by a fire ant and it formed a little pus bump, that probably was not the best thing to do, but that's what we would do. We would pop the little pus bump with the pine needles because they were so sharp and pokey like a needle. Sharp and pokey like a needle. Okay? So what do you call, I ask you again, what do you call the narrow leaves on a pine tree? Needles. Remember, they're sharp and pokey like a needle. Alright, what do you call the forest where trees change color in autumn?
Tropical rainforest.
No.
Tropical forest.
No.
Temperate forest.
Temperate forest. Very good. You thought it through. Where do we live? We live in the
Temperate zone.
That's where there are 4 seasons.
seasons.
The temperate zone is where there are 4 seasons. Spring and summer and fall or autumn and winter. Right now we are in fall or autumn, right? And the leaves are changing colors. We are in the temperate zone. That's where the seasons are. The 4 seasons are in the temperate zone. Are there 4 seasons in the frigid? No. Are there 4 seasons at the tropical zone? No. They only have rainy and dry, right? Just the temperate zone has 4 seasons. So what do you call the forest where the trees change color in the autumn? The temperate zone. What is the tropical rainforest, by the way? The forest where it's what? Yes, rain. The key is rain. You gotta have the word rain in there. When you hear the word rain, the forest where it rains a lot, that is the tropical rainforest. Okay? Alright? What is the act of moving pollen from one flower to another?
Pollination.
Pollination. Pollination. The leaves and branches of a tree are its what?
Crown.
Crown. Very good. Let's stand back up. Let's ask someone until we get everybody back down again. Tiny insects and worms that help break down dead things. Decomposers. What are tiny insects and worms that help break down dead things? Decomposers. And a tree trunk. The lighter rings that carry sap. Sapwood. Alright? And a tree trunk. The darker rings. Heartwood. Alright? Name for me a way that we depend on trees to live. Food. Yes. Say food, because there is fruit, but there's other food too, right? Food. Alright? Like nuts. Like pecans is food, but it's not a fruit necessarily, is it? Give me another one.
Air.
Give me a more specific answer.
Oxygen.
Oxygen. Yes, because plants make oxygen. Give me another one.
Lumber.
Lumber. Or building materials. You could say either one. Alright? Name for me something needed for a seed to sprout. We learned yesterday.
Water.
Water is one of them.
The right temperature.
The right temperature.
Air.
Air. Water, air, and the right temperature needed for a seed to sprout. Alright, let's go back and get some that people missed. What's the gas given off by people and animals that plants need? Yes, sorry. Carbon dioxide. You already had that one, didn't you? No, then you can't sit down. What's the food making process of green plants? Photosynthesis. Alright. What is the forest where trees change color in autumn?
I know what it is.
Well, you gotta tell me. don't like leaves and cones? Finish the word. Cone. Conifer. Did somebody tell you? Did somebody tell you? No? I thought I heard somebody tell you.
Yeah, everybody
All right.
sat down.
All right, good job.